Where is she? Hi guys, my phone is just like bootleg. Thanks for coming back. Hey, it's Kalia. All right, sorry about that. Like,
oh,
look,
no.
my screen just froze. I'm like, what in the world?
I don't know what happened. I hope you remember the question though, because it sounded like it was going to be a good one. Oh, I hope everybody can come back to it. I mean, whatever. I guess they watch the replay, but
what was I saying?
It sounded like it was going to be a good one.
I don't even remember. But it'll come back.
Oh man, that sucks. Oh look, I think it looks like kind of everybody is back anyway. So technology.
I know. So what was I gonna say? Let's talk about vendor relationships.
Girl, can we talk?
Yes. And
so,
like, what do you feel? How do you feel is the best way to develop those? Is it like cold calling people? Is it taking someone to lunch? Like, how do you go about it?
So I feel I have so much to say about this that it's hard for me to even sort out. What's the best way to go about it in the beginning? You have to do so much as the planner, right? I will say, honestly, it is a lot of my days are spent sourcing vendors, sourcing and vetting vendors. I'm just like, why won't y'all reach out to us? Like, just, get out there and say, hey, I'm this person and I do bubbles, or I'm this person and I do, and I have circus shows, and look at me. It would be so much easier. Oh my God, it's like trying to find a needle in a haystack when you're looking for like, specialty, and upscale vendors. Like, it's so hard. So I would say the easiest thing to do would be to, if you see someone you like, right? Because I spend a lot of time sourcing vendors and I see a lot that I like. Just reach out to them. Email them, DM them, say, hey, I'm
But
this
not
person.
necessarily, don't do it on Instagram. I mean, because I feel like some people just ignore DMs.
Yes, you're right. And I'm saying DMs like I ever DM anybody. I don't. I'm an email girl, so I'm going to email or I'm going to call. I think maybe emailing is the best way to go. But email them, reach out and just say, hey, I'm here. I service, mostly this type of client. What do you have that would normally fit an event like this? And what are some regular prices? And then you can form, a relationship from there. I really have to say, though, until you actually use someone once, then the relationship is not really there. A lot of vendors have because a lot of people are coming to them, right? More than they're coming to planners at times. So, I get it, but they're just like, you kind of really don't exist until you actually book something with them sometimes. Right. So, but after that first event.
Right. And I see that, and Ann and I had this conversation before from Clout. I'm going to mess up her business name. Clout Floaties?
Floaties.
Sorry, Ann. There you go, with your French accent. But, and I see you do the same thing. You use the same core vendors for most of your events. Yeah. So it almost you have a look. Like, if I'm looking at a picture, I know that's a Party Muse party because you're using the same vendors and you have those relationships with them. So, and with most events, if there's a last minute whatever, they'll run back to the shop and get what you need because you have that relationship.
Exactly.
So that's why it's so important.
Yeah, it is so important. And I feel like a lot of those relationships started from friendships, right? Like friendships online. Just like I was saying to like any newbies out there or whatever, to kind of grow with someone. I did that. I grew with the Hudson Cakery. I knew Jen before she even had the Hudson Cakery shop, in Weehawken. And so I used her a lot, and I used her even more in the beginning. I used her even more in the beginning because she, like you said, we have that relationship. I would refer her or whatever, and people say, oh, where'd you get that cake from? I'm always throwing her out there all the time.
Right.
And then as I grew and had to use other people, I learned the work of other people. Everybody knows I love Lulu Cake Boutique. I'm always gonna love them. If I need like a huge, detailed, beautiful cake, I'm going to them. And I'm referring them. And you know what? My latest client, not of my most recent party, but my recent acquired client, was through Lulu. You know what I mean?
Oh, wow. See?
Yeah. So people,
it's both ways. Yeah.
It has to be both ways. And it's so sad to say, I'm going to harp a little bit on vendors not referring and not respecting and not reciprocating planners. I have to, because it's just like everybody feels like they could do what we do, right? And so they come to us for our connections and our resources, and I'm referring you 20 times more than you're ever going to be able to refer me.
Indeed.
Period. But I expect when someone comes to you and say, hey, who plans great kids parties, even if you're referring 5 different people,
or even the fact that they want a kid's cake. Guess what I know? Yeah.
Right, exactly. A kid's cake. This is going to be an amazing party. Do you already have a planner? Just that extra question. I mean, it just helps so much. And and even someone recently called me and they said, oh, paparazzi referred you.
See?
Great. Amazing. Because anytime anybody ever needs balloons, not that I need to refer her at all because she's out there and amazing, I'm going to say Nicole from Paparazzi is awesome. Oh, you're not in New York. Okay. Manny, call Manny at Uptown Balloons. He's he's awesome too. Like, I have people at my fingertips that I will refer out. And 9 times out of 10, people don't end up using them anyway, though, because it's always a price thing. But I'm sorry, I only work with professionals. You know what I'm saying? So it's going to be a price difference. But, I don't know what else to tell you. I'm not going to.
And, let's talk about that, because I feel like people being vendors, planners, even me, because I got this question the other day. So I get a lot of high-end people that, when I say high-end, they got money. Let's just be real.
Yeah.
And they want discounts, right?
Like, Nida, you cracked me up.
Girl, you should see the email I just got 2 nights ago. So I always do research on these people. I will Google their name to find out who they are. Okay, but not that matters. But I know you got money. So you send me a picture and you want a custom whatever. Not an issue. I can build it. I'll go on YouTube, Instagram, we'll get it done. I'm giving you a custom piece. And then of course it's gonna be the rental price. So I expect that that this is gonna cost you more than whatever you saw on my website. So It's almost like I can always say this is my price and it's no haggling involved, but I feel like you have to be firm when you're dealing with clients, perspective and otherwise, to say this is my price. Of course you can find it somewhere else, but it won't be from me. So it's okay to step off.
It's more than okay. I love telling people no. I love that. I'm sorry. That means that I respected myself today. And I'm not bending over backwards for anybody.
Right.
And that's how I do the self-love, honey. I say no all the time. Yeah. I think about it, though. I do. That question came up with pricing. I think someone asked me, like, oh, percentage-wise, if you ever do. I have a number that I go to. You know what I mean? You have to know, like, your bottom line. I'm not giving you my base. You know what I'm saying? I'm not giving my base.
Because it's the same amount of work.
It's the same amount of work, exactly.
Yeah.
How do I turn off? I need to turn off notifications when I'm on this.
Well, that's what happens to me. People call me and you're like,
you need to teach me more. I don't know this stuff. You need to teach
me.
That's
why I just blacked out, because my husband was calling me and I'm like, I'm on live.
Girl, I just got a FaceTime. Like, aren't you watching the live?
Right.
Are we not friends? Right. But damn, I was gonna say something really good. Oh yeah, I'm not giving you my base price, right? So you got to know your base price. I think the young lady that contacted me, um, I know that I answered her. I answer everybody, but her question was like percentage wise. She was like, oh, if you're going to charge, 2,800 and, the party is only like 7,000 or whatever. And I'm just like,
it's a separate fee, period.
It's a separate fee, number one. Number one, it's a separate fee, right? Number two, it's not up to me to judge the value of my work based on somebody, from the perspective of somebody else. If this is what I charge and you're okay with paying it, then it's not a zero-sum thing. I'm not taking anything from her. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, I'm giving her value. I'm trying to be a value-based business. And I think of myself as a value-based business. And I price according to what I feel like I need, number one, and based on value. I want to get paid based on value, period. Not based on the time I put in. And I don't want nobody out with a calculator trying to do percentages and stuff. I don't really care.
Right.
And it's not really like, this is how I work. If you don't like how I work and how I price, you don't have to use me, period.
Indeed.
And I'm okay with that. Yeah. And I'm okay with that. And when you come to me with things that are not, going to be, doesn't make sense to me. Now, let me just be honest, though. I will work with someone. I will work with someone, but it's based on those other parameters, like.
But hold on, let me ask you this, because I always can tell when a client, it's just going to be an effed up situation. And it's because of those beginning conversations.
Yeah.
Well, okay, so you say yes, right? And then you realize halfway through, I'm going to screw myself, after dealing with this person. So what do you do at that point?
You have to back out. You have to say, no, that is in my contract. If at any point I feel like this is not going to, make sense, and I don't really know the legal verbiage. If I put,
you said the big word, contracts.
Yeah,
let me tell you, even if it's a barter situation, I have a contract.
Yeah, you have to have a contract. Yeah. You're really good at your contracts too, Oneida.
Girl.
Yeah.
Because I done got burnt.
Yeah, but it's true though. If at any point I feel like you're not going to be able to be your best self, and I'm not going to be able to bring my A game and be my best self and show what I originally thought. And I only know that, like you said, from being burned. Someone, somebody, it was a specific client that made me put that in there too. See, the bad ones I just forget. I don't really care about them. Like they die to me. But she this particular client, she had lowered the budget exponentially, right? So when we first started talking, it was like, oh, I'm doing this and this and that for $10,000, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, bet, I'm in there, no problem. As we started to work, she was talking about renovations to her house, but she had all but cut the budget in half.
Wow.
And then wanted to include my fee, but then didn't have any expectations of me doing less. It was just like, no, you could do more. But I'm just going to give you less. And I was just like, how does this work though? But okay. And I was really green back then and wanting people to use me and wanting that's the thing. When you're an artist or a creative or something like that, you just want your stuff out there. And I had already thought about the stuff and I wanted to do the stuff, and, but in the end, it didn't end up serving either of us. Neither one of us was happy. You know what I mean? So just cut it off. I'll cut people off. I don't really care how much they're spending. I don't really care what their budget is. It's more their personality or their attitude. Now I know too that I get a lot of clients that want to work with me. Like, oh, I want to work with you, and I want to create this with you. And if that's not a bad thing, but I'm not the planner for you. You know what I mean? Because I can't sit and talk, you're not my only client. So I can't sit and talk to you day in and day out about what we think. Indeed. It's got to be what I say. It's got to be what I say. And I might give you some choices, but that's going to be the end of that. It's not going to be like, oh, you're going to send me 10 things from Etsy and Pinterest. And I'm not doing that. I can't do that. I don't have time to do that with you. I don't have time to do that with you. Yeah.
Right. So, what was the next thing? Oh, someone just said something about contracts. And so I remember when I first started my business, everyone was telling me I needed a lawyer, like on retainer or something like that. And I'm just like, I don't know how that's gonna work, but I found out about Rocket Lawyer. I think it is, Rocket Lawyer. And basically what it is a service that they have like standard templates for most contracts, and you can put in your whatever little additions that you need. And so once you generate it, you can pay somebody, a lawyer, like $30 an hour or something like that to review what you've done on your own. So I've done that a lot. And just because I didn't have the capital to have pay somebody $400, a lawyer $400 to do a simple contract for me. Right. And then from there, like you said, I've added things in based on my experiences with clients. Because, for instance, if there's a delivery, right, and you don't tell me it's a 3-story walk up, I'm going to charge you. And even if everything is done, I'm going to charge you. And it's in my contract that if I forget how it reads, but I say it's $100 is my fee, but then I get there and it's, like I said, the 3-story walk up, you're going to get charged.
Yes, you have to get charged. Right. And you have to pay it before I pick up those chairs. Right. Know, I can take COD for the walk up, but but
and I feel like people do that intentionally, like they know. Like you knew before I got here, it was like 90 damn steps.
Nida,
why are you playing me?
You already know. People do this. Girl, people do the same thing to me. Thank God for a site visit. They do the same thing to me. Oh, let me send you pictures of my house or whatever. Like, girl, show me those steps out front. You know it's about to be icy. It's February. You show me those steps.
Right. Exactly.
People are always trying to get over. I know exactly what you mean. I feel like, oh man, that was gonna be crooked. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm trying to plug
a tripod because it's just a hot mess.
Yeah, and my phone, like I thought I had a full battery when we started, but maybe I didn't. But anyway, okay. But you know what? Back on vendor relationships, just quickly too. Y'all, show your vendors some love, okay? Mm-hmm. This is really what I want to say about that. Wait, hold on. Let me just. We're just gonna go with the low battery. I don't think we have that much.
Well, hold on. Let me put this plug in for Raquel from Glam Party Rentals if she's on here. So I'm lurking, right? And I'm on Elle's Instagram. I see her story. I'm like, hold on, we giving Louis Vuitton scarves?
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Okay.
That's the love I'm talking about.
Yeah, that's the love I'm talking about too. But I would say I feel like people only want to like, show and receive love and referrals when it's like income based, almost like, oh, they're going to get, money off or things like that. Or they only want to be tied to like, oh, hey, Glam, look, Raquel is here. Or they only want to get, tagged on, the big stuff. Or they want to like only, repost your party when it's for a celebrity or something like that. But I just feel like,
and put a little mark right here. Let's talk about celebrity parties in a minute. But
yeah, let's talk about celebrity parties. Let's do that. We're going to let me write that down. Hold up. Celeb. Yes. When it's like a certain caliber, and I get it though, like I get that, but I would say show love on every single thing that they did, right? And then they're going to show the same thing in turn back to you. And a lot of times, even if you haven't spoken to them, something like that will start the relationship too. If it's like, oh, Kalia is always shouting me out, and she's making sure that I'm on, every picture that she posted, I'm involved in, and she's tagging or whatever. Like, I feel like that's important. Right. Because your stuff can't look good if I don't know what the hell I'm doing. Right. You know what I'm saying? And my stuff can't look good if your shit ain't kept up to date. You know what I mean? And it's not, clean or something like that. Like, so you scratch my back, I scratch your back. And it has to be that give and take, because I can't do what I do without you. You can't do what you do without me. Right. Either. So it just has to be like, I just want us all to just work together more and regularly and, and support each other and call one another and, you know, email one another and comment and like, and just, you know, so, and that's what, oh, and that's what, we didn't put a pin in social media, but I wanted to just say, you were saying that, you know, social media is like
fake,
the devil at times. Yeah, it's fake. But you have to use it to your advantage. If you use it like it's part of your job, I'm going to be on Instagram probably like 3 hours out of every day, right? Because number one, it's my biggest client referral.
Yeah.
Right. So I get most of my clients on Instagram. I'm in a visually based business.
Yes.
This is a visually based, you know, social media thing or whatever. And that's just where they come from. So I spend time on social media. I comment strategically on certain accounts.
Yes.
I like strategically on certain accounts. It's not about being fake. That's part of my marketing.
But hold on, let's talk about this strategic.
That's what I do.
Let's talk about this, because I feel like, and I got this question before too, and we talked about it before about the balance between how many followers you have versus how many people you follow. But if I know that I want to develop a relationship with somebody, I am going to almost be like a stalker on their page. And that's simply just me commenting on whatever it is they're doing, looking at their stories and commenting, sending an emoji, things like that, because you're present in their mind. They're like, well, who is this? Let me come back and do the research and see who this person is. Yes. So that's the strategicness of liking something.
Yeah, it has to be. And I think that if you make it more about that, it will get into your brain a little bit less about what, you know, the comparison is, like what somebody else is doing. I'm not ever on here. Trust me, I'm not ever on here trying to see what nobody's doing. I promise you. I promise you. Never.
I am.
Never. You are. I'm not, though. I don't go and like just say, oh, let me just see what Oneida been doing lately. You know what I mean? Like, it's not like that cattiness or that comparison.
Yeah.
But there's plenty of planners that I love. Don't get me wrong. I will go and I will search Claflotis and I will be like, what is Ann up to? And I will like 6 pictures at a time, you know, like if I've missed something or whatever, just to kind of show her love and support. Because, I like her work a lot and I like her. I like her. You know, so it's like, it's different, or, you know, or anybody else, like any, you know, whatever. I do that. But I'm not ever going to see, like, I don't think about people as competition. I don't really care. I'm really just trying to, you know, make sure that I'm visible and make sure that my clients find me. So I try to make it easy for them to find me. You want to go back to celeb?
Girl. So first of all, I don't need, and this, how do I say this PC? Don't contact me and say, this is who I am. Okay, nice to meet you. And then say, you want something at cost in exchange for exposure. But I'm like, but I'm already where I need to be as far as exposure. So come with me with something else. Like, make it more mutually beneficial for me to give you my product. Because are you going to give me referrals? Because sure, here's my business card, here's my postcard, can hand it out to everybody that's there. That to me is something that's tangible, that can translate to sales. Because if you're just emailing me because you're Bobo whoever, and you have a hit song, and it's never that person, like they'll start the conversation, then the assistant will follow up. And it's just like, okay, but I still have to do the same amount of work if it's just, you know, Jill from the Hill.
You know, I still have to do the same amount of work, and you still have not spoken to me about what in the world you're going to do for me. What are you doing for me? Like, if it's just like I'm going to get good caviar that night or something, like, I don't want it. I'm good. And it's so funny.
But then the expectation is so, like, you're in the situation and you're like, I'm not the hired help. So we talked, everything went how we created an agreement. Then you get there and it's just like, how long is it going to take you to give me these pictures back? Or whatever it is. It's never like an immediate thing that you promise. So hence the reason why the contract is so important.
Yeah, you need the contract.
And this I see a question that just came up from LaDonna. She said, do you always quote pricing even if you're not secure with your vendor? So
yeah,
I would say it's two separate pieces of things. It's two separate things. You have your price, and then you have their budget. So your price is your price, whatever you charge for doing the service, and then their budget, whatever vendors you're securing are contingent on that budget.
Yeah. So I would say, so this is the part where I say that you have to get your process down when you first start. You got to know your process. So I will tell you right off the bat, let me just also preface this by saying I might miss something. Like, you know, I'm not right in front of my screen or whatever. I do it every day, I know. But so we're going to, so someone contacts me. This is what I do. LaDonna, I'm answering your question. Get your pen out. So somebody contacts you just from planner portion or whatever. We talk back and forth. This is my fee, right? I tell my fee from the gate just so that we don't waste each other's time. She says, great, you know, no problem. Oh, okay. She says, great, no problem. This is what I'm looking to do. I talk budget from the gate, right?
Hold on. What about that person that said they don't have no budget?
Oh, no. Everybody has a budget, because when I start talking about 15, 20,000 for a kid's party, 30,000 for kids, you're going to want to slow me down. You got a budget. You got a budget, honey. And even if you don't have a budget, you have it doesn't matter how much money people have. They have an earmarked amount that they want to spend or that they're comfortable spending. I don't care who you are. I've worked with people from vast backgrounds. Yes. Everybody has that number. So we nailed down a number, and how I do my estimates. First of all, I've been in a business a long time, right? So I know just about how much everything costs, especially working with the same vendors a lot. I know just about how much everything costs, right? So I do my inspiration board. I work out my, ideas. We come together. They have input. I go back. I crunch the numbers. I let them know this is about how much it's going to cost. It is an estimate. Mm-hmm. However, it is I can't even tell you. I've been to the dollar on these things at times. I'm not even joking. I have been to the dollar on things. I usually estimate a little bit up now to give myself cushion and wiggle room, but I have been so, accurate or whatever. At the end, I usually end up saving them money from what I estimated. And that's really my goal too. If I'm estimating that I'm going to spend, 15 grand or whatever, I have worked in some cushion in there, and my final invoice might be for, 13. And let me say also, I get half up front. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. I get my booking fee is half of whatever I'm charging you for the party. So if I'm charging you that standard 28, when you book me, you need to pay 14. After I do the estimate, if I'm estimating 15, you need to chop off the 7,500. And that's for obviously booking vendors and purchasing items and making things or whatever. And I like to leave it at half and half, but sometimes if the budget is really big, then you might have to give me another, something before the party. And then that last bit needs to be whenever I finish my final analysis. But after I finish the final, whatever, it needs to be paid within a week or two. And that's always going to be prior to the party. So I think that answers your question, LaDonna. If it doesn't, just let me know what part I missed, and I'll go back and answer it. And Oneida, I'm sure you could speak to that too. So yeah.
It's been a while since I've done a full out party, but that's basically how my process worked as well. Some people will give you their credit card information so you can charge as you wish, but I never did that. So like you said, you have to pay my invoice, and then it's almost like I'm having petty cash, and then whatever is not spent, I give back. Do you give original receipts and itemize?
Never.
Okay.
Never. I don't have that kind of time.
Yeah.
I try to just make it easy for me. And that's why I try to remain visible. I try to always respond to my client, like whether it's text or email, like I don't care where I am. And because I give that level of service, that also goes into the price too, because I know that if push comes to shove, if if I'm in the doctor's with my child and you text me, I'm probably going to text you back unless they're dying.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I'm probably going to text you. I'm going to text you back. Like I try to give that level of service to my client because it's a comfortability. You can't give somebody that you never laid eyes on $8,000.
Right.
And you know what I'm saying?
Right.
And not be able to contact them. Like
But
that's
just
not.
with kids' parties, particularly kids, like I see that you do a lot of milestone birthdays. So that first birthday, that fifth birthday, parents are batshit crazy with anxiety, right? So it could be just one thing, like the color white is off, and they're like postal. So
Girl.
having that that direct connection to you is so good for their sanity.
Yeah, it's good for their sanity. It's good for yours too, because you don't want them to have like, even more angst because you haven't answered 10 of their questions and now they gotta, whatever. If there's any of my clients that are on here, I feel like I saw one pop up, but if there's anyone on here, just give me a little heart. That's what they can do. Give me a heart and just show that I am correct in this. I answer every text, every email within minutes. Minutes if I can. And if I can't, if it's like a longer response or if I got to think about it, I respond and I say, I'm going to get back to you with that. Like, let me, whatever. And that's that service component. This is a service-based business. Yes, it is a luxury service or whatever that we're providing because not everybody can, afford to rent specialty items or book a planner, but it is still a service. So don't get it twisted. You got to come with that customer service or don't come at all. That's how
what I just thought about?
Like you.
What about, we're talking about the immediacy of responding. So I have dealt with vendors. I'm planning 2 baby showers right now, right? I'm reaching out to people and I see that they have a response time of 5 to 7 days for an email. Guess what? I can't fuck with you. That's just me. That's just me.
Right.
Because I know how people, like, you want an immediate response. With this technology in this day and age, your email comes to your phone. Your text messages come to your phone.
Let's be real.
Just to tell me, I'll get back to you later. But, like, I can't deal, I don't do business with people that have that. Because unless, I've used you before and I just know that that's how you are. But if it's a new person I'm sourcing, I can't. I went to a Preston Bailey meet and greet or something, and he said, if you need to respond to emails within 24 hours.
Period.
That's it.
If you can't do that, I see Beyond Linen Rentals here.
Oh, yeah.
Right. If you can't do that, guess what, honey? People looking for work out here.
Yeah.
You need to hire. Get a VA, get a virtual assistant, send your email to, an inbox, that goes to like an admin or something. That, people are virtual assistants for a ton of people at once. So that's why they can get paid like a little less, because they got money coming from different buckets all the time. And they can manage that for you. Don't let it just go unanswered. Don't let the customer service piece be the reason why you don't grow beyond where you can go. You can do more. If you have help, you can do more. And there's businesses that I give business to because I love them and I know that they're going to do a good job. But at the same time, I'm like, damn, like you need to get your back office together.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like I'd be able to, I would if I refer somebody and I know, first of all, number one, I probably wouldn't. But number two, see, that's really bad. But number two, I would refer and just let them know, hey, she's going to take a few days to get back to you, but she's really good. Kind of thing. But you don't want to be that person. Don't be that person. I'm glad you hired somebody. I see you.
There was another question about a questionnaire. Paul Strape says, I have a questionnaire prior to sending out a quote. Should I be sending packages before the questionnaire? No, I feel like for me, that conversation, what I realize is that, especially now as I'm growing, people are emailing me less, and the initial interaction is through a phone call. So I feel like if even with the questionnaire, having that phone call is paramount to, you know, working out the kinks, and then say, I'm going to send you the questionnaire, and then if I have any questions, we'll have a face-to-face consultation.
Yeah, I agree with you.
Yeah,
face-to-face on the phone is better.
Right. Yes,
it's better. Yeah. Get you a website, LaDonna. So LaDonna says, people don't hire me because I don't have a website yet. Can you expound on this? I cannot expound on that.
Let me first say this.
I can't
You
expound
own
on
no
it. Get a
content
website
on social media. You own no content. So tomorrow we can all wake up and your whole digital profile is wiped because you don't own Instagram. So it's a double job, because you're posting on Instagram, and then you have to also blog about it on your blog. But you have to do it because you never know when stuff is just gonna not be there.
So what I think are clean interfaces too, and I think, and this might be the problem, this might not be the problem. Maybe you're just like a little picky, or maybe you see all of these other websites and they look so good and they were custom. Girl, Wix and Wix, right? And Squarespace, such clean,
that's me,
right? Beautiful interfaces that they're free, right? Maybe you can. No. I don't know.
Squarespace is about $216 for the year, but that's like their business plan. They have cheaper ones, but it's amazing. Year, it's so amazing.
Yeah, the entire year. Do it, right? So that's part of the upfront work that you have to do. You have to get a website, right? I don't care if it's a one-page layout of, you know, close-ups of the only 5 photos that you have, and like get a good photo of you, you know, and contact them, and, you know, or a contact button where they can contact you, and that's it. But when you're upfront about being new, they don't expect to see a bunch of stuff on the website anyway. So just be upfront about it and do what you can do for now. It is good enough. It's good enough. Do it, because you can't get to step 4 and 5 without being listened to first.
That's it.
So it's okay. You get you a Squarespace, get it today, do all of those things, because if you want to have a business, you gotta do business stuff. You gotta do business stuff, and part of the business stuff is getting that website. So I appreciate you. Thank you. These people are nice on here. I really appreciate everybody too. This is just nice. This is real great. Thank you.
I was just thinking about something else, but hold on. I wrote down some stuff. Let me see what. Okay.
So I want to comment more back to people.
Yeah.
But every time I do, do you guys still see me or no? Because my keyboard is up right now.
Yeah, we still see you.
Okay. Oh, love you guys. It's so nice. Yeah, and you can always, like, because Oneida, while you're looking for that other question, I'll just say this, like, I'm available. Like, I'm so available, it's ridiculous. And I don't have all day to answer DMs, and I don't have all day to answer, you know, emails and messages and stuff. But eventually, you know, like within a week, for sure, I will get back. Like, I will get back to you. If you have a question about like pricing, especially because it's such a pain point with planners, just reach out and ask. You know, you want to know how I got my clients, or where they came from, or such and such. I'm really transparent about that stuff. I will be completely and totally honest with you. What I will say is that if you don't have the clients that you want, or if you don't have any clients at all, it is because you have not done your work.
Indeed.
It is because you have not done your work. I don't care what the work is. I don't care if it's the website, or if it's answering emails, or if it's, you know, having great pictures, or it could be any, like, if you don't have the clients that you want, or if you don't have any clients at all, it's because you have not done the work.
That's it. And that's it. And it's so, I can always tell, like, people ask me a lot where I get chairs from, right? And my whole thing is, boo, if you don't get your ass on Google and type in kids chairs, you will find everything it's there.
Yeah, it's there.
It's different if you say to me, I've done this and now I need this. Then we'll have a conversation. But just coming off the front end, no, I'm not doing it. I just got a question from Ola. She says, oh, am I selling the kids chairs in bulk? So let me tell you what Oneida's trying to do. So I have my little girl clique that we do the same thing, right?
Yes.
I'm putting them out there because we still planning. We are looking to be distributors and to interface to bring kids chairs stateside, because what I found out is the big wholesalers are typically in Miami, and because that's like the first port that everything coming from China is coming to, or the easiest port, and then they distribute to the rest of the country. But I want to be that distributor for kids stuff, because I've been in the business so much. I know what I want, and when I'm interfacing with the Alibaba people, it's a disconnect. So I feel like we need to make a trip to China and work this shit out, and then bring it stateside. And we talk about before competition, I'm thinking on a higher level. So it doesn't matter to me that you have the same stuff when we're in the same zip code, because you still sourced it from me. So that is what I'm looking for towards the last quarter of 2019, is to be that distributor for kids furniture. And that's what we're working on.
Yes. I'm so here for it, Oneida. You talking that big stuff, and I like it. You talking that big stuff, and I like it. Yeah, homegirl's taking a trip to China, and I'm here for it.
Listen, we gonna make it work.
Yeah, you have to do that though. But see, you're real and you're serious about your business. Yes. And not only are you serious about your business, you're thinking bigger.
Yes.
And you're thinking outside of the box. And I feel like we need to all challenge ourselves to do that.
Look, Jada says she coming. I'm serious, girlfriend. There is they have a huge, like a distributor's, a factory kind of workshop. I feel like it's April and then November. So I'm really trying to shoot for the one in November. And it's basically like a meet and greet for every factory that does manufacturing. So whatever industry you're in, they got something for you.
Yeah, that's amazing. That sounds awesome to me.
Yes. Cut out the middleman.
Yeah. And cut out the middleman.
Okay. Yeah, April and November. Yes. So I will I'll have more information about that as we get the branding together for it. But it's we call ourselves the Tiny Seats Girls. So it's the Tiny Seats goes to China. So be on the lookout for that soon. I'm
on the lookout for it. I feel like I want to give you like $100 to bring me back some stuff.
Let's talk about crowdfunding. Hold on. Crowdfunding. So you're growing a business.
Let's talk about it. Yes.
You have a brand. I'm about to do another crowd. I did it once, and I made $350, right? Amazing.
Oh, good.
I was just like,
that's so good.
And then I learned how to do it better. So I'm definitely doing another one in the next, I don't know, few weeks. When my intern comes, I will have it worked out. But crowdfunding is a huge thing for businesses, because a lot of times people are looking for angel funders, or they just don't want to put their own money into their business. Not their own money, but they don't have the capital to put so much. So once you establish your brand and people know who you are, it's very okay to do a crowdfund to have those people support your brand, especially if it's like one thing you want to buy. Yeah.
I like that so much. I was listening to I listened to a lot of podcasts. I don't know which one it was. I was listening to one of them. And so I'm always startled by the amount of money people can come up with from friends and family. This one girl got $250,000 from friends and family. And I'm like, what?
Yes.
But when you start out like that, it's like, man, like they know it's an investment. They know that you're not going to lose it, based on, I guess they knew what she did or whatever. But I'm always like, man, like I don't have the right friends and family.
Yes.
I'm not sure. Or maybe
I think what you have to do is categorize them. Okay, so you have friends and family that has discretionary funds. You have friends and family that can give you that human capital. They can work your campaign or whatever. So not everybody has to give you money, you know, so to speak. Like they could be packaging up your stickers to mail out. So you have to create that list and then strategize on who falls in what category. And then hit up the people you know is going to give you cash.
Girl, you're so true. Do I have a brand? I see you, Instant Glow photo booth. Who are you asking, me or Oneida? I do.
Well, you have a what?
A brand style guide.
I have one, but
it
changes.
It changes all the time. Yeah. Yeah, it's hard to keep up with them. When I was pursuing, like, and I still do this. When I talk to like venues and stuff like that, like, you know, hey, if people come here and they're looking for, you know, kids party, like just trying to get on their vendor list or something, I'll send them that just so that they know, you know, this is who I am. This is what I do. This is, you know, what the Party Muse is. And I feel like that, I can't really say that helped me. I can't really ever say that helped me. So if you're struggling with it, maybe just drop it and figure out what your intention is behind even having it.
But I feel like for a photo booth, I think having video, like video is so powerful of people interfacing with your product would be like just sending a YouTube clip. This is a party, and just basically asking the client, can I have my videographer come in for 10 minutes to record whatever? And having that like little promo clip, seeing people interfacing with it, that's powerful.
Yeah, that's powerful. Yeah, see? So there's like another idea. I think when you're struggling with something, it's because maybe you're not really connected to what it is that you want it to do for you. That's how I feel, because if you were, then the chances are you wouldn't be struggling with it. You know, you're struggling with your brand. You know, it could be something else. Someone says do it on Canva. I use Canva. I love Canva. They could do it on Canva, but I think that the problem is not the action of doing it. I think it's probably something else. So you probably just need to look a little bit deeper into what it is you're trying to convey and who it is you're trying to talk to. And maybe there's a better way or another way for you to talk to that person and convey that same message. So
Jada asked, how important is your branding?
It's everything. I changed my branding.